Welcome to ComicCast, issue number 178, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, and gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and a few RPGs. Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Adam Wade Adams.
I'm Jason.
And this is Gaumer.
Yeah, these three assholes' personalities die when we go live. We are at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, wherever you get social with your media. Also, wherever you are listening to this, whether it be YouTube, Facebook Live, Periscope, or Twitch, smash the like button, share out the link. Let's grow the live chat. Chad Johnson has arrived.
We were just talking trash on you, Chad.
Dude, Chad, we were starting to wonder where you were because
he's turned on us. Venomized Ryan is the new #1 fan.
Venomized Ryan has taken over. He was here 2 hours early hanging out in the live chat.
He's actually going to be a co-host next week now.
Oh, come on, YouTube. Maybe. Come on.
Can people listen on TikTok?
I'm not sure what TikTok is. I think I'm old.
Yeah, what the heck? I'm too old for that too, man.
Ask your kids what TikTok is. It's not the clock.
Back in my day, we had Vine. Damn it, Vine.
Yeah, Vine. Do it for the Vine.
Do it for the Vine.
So, you guys want to talk about the awards first, or something else?
Yeah, you're the owner.
Yeah,
I have no. This may be my YouTube channel. I have no control over you idiots.
I can't wait.
Jason, I apologize. You have not done anything so far. The other two.
I'm putting all of my stock into social media making the right decision. So this is not going to go well for the best of 2019. I can see it already.
You want to start at? Let's start at the bottom. We'll work our way up.
Here's your first host, your first award presenter, Boogie Bentley.
First of all, I would just like to thank not anybody on this panel.
Yeah.
Best TV.
I did it all myself.
See, I can't even get through it.
I carried these assholes through 187 episodes.
You do realize the Adam Show was the first episode I've missed in the entire run of the show.
Oh, I know.
The first award.
We get a bell.
It's a Charlie Chaplin bell.
I like it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's annoying as crap. Don't do that again.
Worst sound ever.
Best TV adaptation of a comic book. You guys want to know the percentages or just the winners?
No, we want to know the percentages. We want to know how all the numbers turned out. This is like the poll results for an election.
In fourth place, Swamp Thing with 11% of
underrated. Underrated. I think it lost some because it was, canceled.
Because it got canceled. I didn't even watch the second episode because of that.
Exactly.
Third place, Watchmen, 25%.
See, I'm already done. Where's the X? I'm gone.
I can make that happen.
Don't, Boogie, don't.
You just don't want to lose your top billing.
Exactly. I don't want to lose my corner.
They can shuffle
my corner.
Yeah, he's like, don't put me on the bottom. Second place, The Boys, 27%. And the winner for Best TV Adaptation of a Comic Book is Adam's selection of Doom Patrol.
Wow, really?
Wow, that's crazy.
Adam, you're muted.
The fans must have come out. He's like, I know.
Okay.
I want to be muted. I'm farting over here.
This one's fun, too, for Jason's sake. Best movie adaptation of a comic book. Last place. This is bullcrap. Only 4% of the vote was Spider-Man Far From Home. Third place, Shazam with 15%. And tied for best movie adaptation, Avengers Endgame and Joker.
Well, we get to decide then. We are the tiebreakers.
Joker it is then.
Seriously?
You're trying to get a rise. I mean, I know it.
I know, right?
I've not even seen it.
Wait for the comics. We're going to argue enough about the comics. Oh, look at Adam holding up the case. Good job.
I've got the Blu-ray. I just didn't have time to watch it, man.
This is the 4K Steelbook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Send me your digital code, bro.
There you go.
You want it? You can have it. I don't want
awesome. Yeah, free movies, sure.
The live chat's pretty quiet. Guys, chime in. Let us know
what
you voted for.
How terrible is it that Watchmen got third? Are you kidding me?
It's crazy. And Swamp Thing.
Not enough people watch HBO, man.
That's exactly right.
Because
people don't want to pay $15 a month.
I got the free week just to watch the Watchmen show.
Best miniseries, last place again, which I guess it's because what's on the poll. But last place, Spider-Man Life Story, 11% of the vote. Silver Surfer Black, 12% of the vote. Hawks Pox, only 28% of the vote. And the winner for best miniseries, Deceased, with 50% of the vote.
Oh my God,
Drew! I appreciate your opinion, Drew.
This is a terrible travesty that we're witnessing.
These are all terrible. It's like
social media.
It's like the Grammys giving all the awards to Nickelback or something. It's so mainstream and dull.
How do you not like Deceased? All we did was praise it.
But it's not
50%. 50. It wasn't 50% good. I could understand if it was close. Okay, if it was close.
You want some art? You want some art films?
This is ridiculous.
You want some art films in there?
Yes, I want some class here.
Let's move on. I don't want to alienate all of social media. That's what I do anyway. It seems what I do.
Drew Manchu says Deceased was good, but the best? Yeah,
right, exactly.
Thanks, Drew. Drew and I rarely agree, so don't get tricked, everybody. But yeah, Drew and I agree. It was good.
I thought the same thing. It was fun, but I wouldn't. I don't.
What'd you like better, Adam? That's the only book out of everything there that you read.
I don't remember. You see, this is where I should just. All right, hold on.
No, that was a legitimate question. You were saying that you didn't feel like Deceased did enough, but you didn't complete anything else on the list. You read some of Hoxpox and then you quit. You read, I think, maybe an issue of Silver Surfer Black and Spider-Man Life Story. So to me, something that you finished beginning to end, it's hard to argue that's not the thing you like the best. That's a legit question. I'm not picking on you.
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, based on what's on the list, sure, that might be the one thing I started beginning to end, but to call it like
maybe everybody did what you did.
I mean, I don't know. I would say the I don't know. I don't want to say anything else. I feel like I'm on eggshells, so I'm gonna stop.
I agree with Drew there, man.
The thing is, for me, I liked everything on the list. Well, Hoxpox I dropped, but Silver Surfer Black, Spider-Man Life Story were great.
Even if you didn't read Hox and Pox, you understand what happened.
Oh yeah, and one of those issues was
revolutionary. It was
one of those issues was on my list for best single issue of the year. That says a lot.
Yeah.
Chad said he got the Silver Surfer Black Treasury Edition. Chad, if you can answer in the chat, is the Treasury Edition just a basic trade paperback, or is there like some special stuff in there? I'm assuming like art panels and things like that. But let us know.
Let's move on to best event / crossover / we didn't know how to figure out this category. Last place, Year of the Villain. That's not a surprise to me on this list. Year of the Villain, 16%.
That's a promotion problem.
Absolute Carnage, 20%.
Respectable.
War of the Realms, 26%. And the winner, without a doubt, Black Hammer Justice League, 38%.
Wow. All right.
You can't argue that, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there were no really great events. I liked Absolute Carnage, but I understand you guys didn't love it like I did. But War of the Realms,
War of the Realms was not great.
I don't know, man. Like I can't say that's an event though. The Black Hammer Justice League.
No, but that's what we did. That's what we did. Event /
that was the crossover thing.
Yeah. Because we didn't know how to, because we basically said there weren't enough events to even fill out the category that were good enough.
That'll change this year, man. DC and Marvel both have
Empire.
Yeah, and maybe we should track those this year as two separate categories and try to make sure we can do it that way next year. Publisher of the year. This one was fun, man. Last place, Image Comics, 15%.
Wow.
Third place, DC Comics, 26%. Second place, TKO Studios.
What?
28%. And they were winning for a while.
Wow.
But Marvel, it's Marvel, 32%.
But how good for TKO?
Yeah.
Going in there, shaking up the industry, doing things their own unique way, and putting out good content, dude. They're good. They're great.
Man Bear Pig is here. I saw on Twitter. He's got hurt, so he had to take off of work. So all he is doing is watching YouTube. Says all events are awful.
Yeah, he's not really wrong.
Nah. I liked Absolute Carnage. They did less tie-ins. I know there were some, especially that second issue.
That was my biggest problem with War of the Realms. Everything was a damn tie-in.
Everything was a tie-in.
I couldn't keep up. Yeah. But good for Marvel. That's a perennial favorite. But yeah, man. TKO, holy crap. Good job.
I definitely thought Marvel was better than DC this year, for sure. I'm a DC guy, too. It's like,
if you're going book for book, sure. Without a doubt. Yeah. X-Men put it over the top for me easily.
Yeah. Good call.
Best new-ish ongoing series. Another category that we just made up. This is kind of surprising. Criminal, only 4% of the vote.
Wow. Not enough people are reading that, dude.
Well, and Ryland Grant kind of took over this poll.
People
nice.
He promotes it, man. He promotes it. Die only got 13% of the vote in third place. Daredevil, 33%. And Banjax dominated with 51%.
That is awesome.
Freaking awesome.
It's what we talk about, man.
Awesome.
But it's even to get Jason started on some Donny Cates hate. Remember when he used to retweet all kinds of stuff, like praise of his books, or when we would give away codes, he would retweet it because he's on the grind. He's got to promote. Look at Matthew Rosenberg. I told him that on the show. Dude, you're hustling. You're grinding because you were trying to sell books. But now Donny Cates is like, I can just tweet whatever I want and it doesn't matter. I don't have to promote anything. He gets into
arguments and stuff on Twitter. He's using Twitter for I don't care what you use Twitter for, but you should use it to promote. You should, it shows that you're interested in what you got going on. And you're right, Boog. When you used to do something like that and now you're not, sort of like, oh, you're so big now.
Yeah,
you big man. Yeah. Oh, you big man, Donny Cates don't need us no more.
That's when people like Jason turn on.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
They didn't turn on him. I still like the guy, but
Venom was okay this week.
Yeah, I got that on my. We'll talk about that later.
Venom's dumb.
Oh God, here we go. Drew Manchu, the Cates hate corner. It's the bottom corner down there.
Symbiote animals, get out of here.
What do we got next? Stupid. What do we got next? Best cover of the year. This one surprised me, man. Aquaman number 49 in fourth place with 13%. Captain America number 8, the Alex Ross cover.
You don't have these. You don't have these to bring up.
Sorry, man. 17% of the vote.
Slacker.
I thought the winner would be Green Lantern, but it came in second place with 31%. I cannot believe. And the winner was Harleen, which that was my favorite cover of the year until I saw the one that Gaumer put up for the Green Lantern number 9.
You got to give it up for that Harleen. And the reason is
it's great. It's great.
The Jeff DeCall cover was a variant cover that didn't get a lot of looks. And that Harleen book did. And Sejic is he's got this great, unique style. And it was an innovative sort of cover. And
and that book
deserves to win.
Just as good inside as it does outside.
Agreed. Agreed.
My phone's not going to make it through this podcast.
Uh-oh.
I just now noticed. What do we got next? Best single issue of the year.
Oh, here we go. This is the one I was rooting for, man. Go ahead, Book.
Von Freeze number 1, 9%.
It's a little shocking.
That pisses me off. You freaking
That's a little shock.
Joker Killer Smile number 2, 20% of the vote.
Good. House
of X number 2, 29% of the vote.
Wow, something beat this.
Ryland Grant, dude, he hustles.
Oh, yeah.
Banjax number 1, 42% of the vote.
He deserves it, man.
If you're gonna hustle, if you're gonna bust your ass, we're changing the rules next year.
Oh, man, there's nowhere I can plug this thing in.
And I just want to say, I saw Ryland, one of his Facebook posts, and I just want to ask Ryland, how much you bench, man?
Wow, that's the last thing I wanted to ask him.
Yeah, no, it's like dude's jacked. All right,
following his music stuff. Sounds like you got a crush. You have your own little interview.
Who's that? Me?
Yeah.
Well,
it's okay. Whatever. I like following his music stuff. He does some cool music things.
Artist
of the Ryland Grant BJ show.
Yeah, what the heck is going on?
And it said just like that. Welcome to the Ryland Grant BJ.
Where were all you guys in the live chat at when we did the polls on Twitter?
I know.
John's Comics with Kids says, I wouldn't have voted that way.
Yep.
Somebody's voting that way. All right, 2019 ComicCast Artist of the Year. This is another one, man. Another one. Last place, 5% of the vote. Simon Kudransky. what the heck are you people looking at? What comics are you reading?
What a workhorse too.
And 5% of the vote. Amazing. Jamal Campbell, third place, 10% of the vote.
Yeah.
Second place, Ryan Stegman, 28% of the vote. And maybe this is why Andrea Sorrentino took 56% of the vote.
There
and
was
also,
a retweet. There was a retweet there too early on. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think he retweeted. I think he just commented.
He
just commented and said, that he listened to the podcast and doesn't have as great of English as me, as you can tell.
We don't either. We
struggling through this.
We know English good.
But he said he got enough he appreciated what we had to say about his work. So that's cool because that showed he actually listened to the show.
Well, we actually read your comics and they are great.
Yeah, Sorrentino's awesome.
Dude.
2019 ComicCast Writer of the Year. This was my favorite poll because of the results that I spoiled for you guys.
Yeah.
Last place, Chip Zdarsky with 14%.
That's what you get, Chip.
First, second, and third place. The percentages are 30%, 29%, and 28%.
Holy cow.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
Wow.
Third place is Donnie Cates with 28%. Second place, Jonathan Hickman with 29%. And the winner for Writer of the Year, we all know. Look at Jason. Jason's celebrating down there. Look at him. Please tell me he's frozen.
He's got to be frozen.
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Oh, there you go.
There he is.
He's back.
I was like, oh, what happened?
It's like he was meditating. Like,
hey, welcome. It's Jump Cut Jason.
Jeff Lemire, winner for Writer of the Year with 30% of the vote.
Yeah, there's some trends there, man. I think if more people would have read that Spider-Man life story, Boogie,
some more you thought Jason was really savoring that.
It looked like it.
Oh, Jeff Lemire.
Yeah,
it definitely looked like
it. Give me the love. Hey,
I didn't know if he was like anxiously awaiting or what was going on.
Yeah, for real. Chip is writing the best Daredevil in a while. His life story for Over There Spider-Man was amazing. I don't think enough people are reading that stuff. I think Chip's going to get a lot more people to know his name this year once he picks up an X-Men Fantastic Four book that I can't wait for. But, yeah, that's kind of sucks. Yeah, Hickman was robbed, Drew. Robbed. He did the impossible, dude. He took one of the greatest he reinvented a language. He took one of the greatest franchises in comic books that, for some reason, has just been utter crap and fixed it. And made it awesome.
But Hickman wasn't robbed. Jeff Lemire is a workhorse. Every book he puts out is great. I don't even think you guys read that Frog Catchers graphic novel.
I did not.
It's freaking amazing. So good.
Sentient. You guys haven't read Sentient yet.
I've read it.
Great. Oh, it's so good.
But it's like his work is so good that I read that and I'm like, this is good, but it's not Lemire great. You know what I mean? It's good.
I mean, that's why people at the top fall, because they have to keep topping themselves, and eventually you just can't do that. It's unrealistic expectations, and that's exactly what fans have.
Still
that's
cool.
Why Star Wars sucks now. Unrealistic expectations. That's the key to enjoying stuff, everyone. Low expectations.
Lowered expectations.
Chaos and Comics is hanging out on Periscope and says, hey, guys.
What's Periscope?
It's Twitter.
Sorry. Goes back to what happened to Vine, man? Where's Vine?
Where's my Vine?
We gonna jump into comic books, or do you guys want to talk about that Lock and Key trailer? Don't you talk first, Jason? You talk first.
I've never read Lock and Key still, except for that one Dog Days issue.
It looks
interesting. You know, it looks mysterious. Looks like Harry Potter vibes, whatever. Like, I'll check it out. I'll watch it.
See, I'm curious what somebody that's not read the book thinks, because it's, if I hadn't read the books, I'd kind of be like, I'm not watching this TV show. But I've read the books.
It looks interesting.
There are so many things they take right out of the comic. Like when they're going down the cliffs, it is straight out of the book. I mean, it looks identical to the comic book.
Cool.
And then when he comes out of his body, you've not read
the production quality looks great.
I've not read them, but I thought it looked good.
Yeah, it looks like a Portal story, made for all ages. It looks just fine.
I liked how I thought it was neat when the kid in the trailer finds the key in the pocket of the painting.
Yeah, that was cool.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
It makes me want to get paintings and put little pockets on it.
What?
And to hide things in. I don't know.
Dude, I just think the show is going to be so much fun for anybody that read those books. I just don't know. I would never watch that show if I hadn't read the books. No way. Why don't you like it?
I kind of
Gilmer?
like the New Mutants.
I don't have a
trailer,
problem
too.
with the books at all. I don't know enough about this show yet to say one way or the other, but I tend to agree with you. It looks like it's your basic portal story, sort of like Narnia. Even Harry Potter a little bit is technically a portal story where a group goes through a literal portal to somewhere else, and that's how the story, you know, finds itself. And that's a good trope to use for a story. I want to see how they pull it off. I am a fan of the comic, and I want to see him do it right. And I have confidence that Netflix will. I just haven't seen enough yet to be like, oh yes, you have to watch this show, because it just didn't strike me like that yet.
We'll see what
though.
happens when that first episode comes out.
I'm still gonna watch it.
And
Well, it's Netflix.
but if I stop watching it, it's not that good. It's not.
The main reason I'm going to watch it is because I know it's comic book related. You know what I mean? If it wasn't, like, I don't know if the all ages kid thing would really interest me enough to, you know, watch that, like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe kind of thing. It's not my thing. I'm not a big fantasy kind of guy.
Yeah.
Adam, you mentioned the New Mutants trailer. What? Take it out.
Oh,
I thought it looked good, and I always go and watch videos, YouTube videos of people who break it down. And what's funny is that once one video I watched, once they broke it down, the trailer made more sense, because basically, I guess it's the Native American character. Her mutant power is she's able to project like worst fears, not really illusions, but bring people's worst fears to life, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that, what you're seeing in the New Mutants is I guess her powers. I guess she can't control them that well or whatever. But we got the giant bear. We got all the cool stuff. So I think it's going to be cool. We got Cannonball.
The thing about it is, everything that was promised thus far is just these characters. So I was expecting to see Magic's sword and the bear and all of this stuff.
You kind of saw Magic sword.
You
that was
did.
Sweet.
You
that
did.
Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. I was expecting to see all of these things, but they had to show me something I wasn't expecting, because this franchise, the X-Men franchise, is a giant turd. It's all bad. Nothing has been good except Logan. There's been some okay ones, but none of them have been on par with a movie that gets me excited to go see these movies.
They need Hickman on the movies.
Well, I wish they'd keep Fassbender as Magneto, man.
Yeah,
I love that dude.
They're not going to keep any of that.
Yeah, no, they're not keeping any of that.
That's all gone.
One big question people are asking is Mr. Sinister still a big part of this or not? That's one, but when it was supposed to come out, whenever it was, way back when.
That's right. I forgot about that. Right.
Mr. Sinister it was supposed to be part of it, and he still kind of teased a bit, but
I'm not sure why any of it matters. Why does that matter? We know this isn't going to get a sequel. We know this isn't going to be anything that hinges on anything the X-Men or the mutants do in movies moving forward.
Well,
what is this movie? What is
it? Did they say
2 hours of me enjoying a movie? Okay, then you had to blow me out of the water with your trailer, and there was nothing in the trailer except exactly what I was expecting. And that's a problem. If they're trying to get me to go see this movie, they didn't.
They did say it's part of the MCU, like Comic Book Bob just put it.
That was on a Disney blog, and that has since been removed and has been reported as an error.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Well, let's just say it's part of the multiverse, and we're always right.
There you go. Yeah. It's part of the Fox multiverse.
Yeah.
This is not going to tie into the actual MCU. They're done with these Fox properties. They're just waiting for this to be done because they already paid for it. They already spent the money on it, so why not release it?
The only thing that gives me hopes about it
X-Men
is
Phoenix.
Yeah, that was
or Dark Phoenix.
So bad. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
Have you even seen it, Ryan?
Yes, I've seen Dark
I
Phoenix.
haven't seen it. I'll admit I haven't seen
terrible.
it. But it
bad,
did. It felt like it's like we shot this. We've got to out there to the public, and that's it's kind of like I hope that this doesn't end up the same way.
I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
I hope it. Sorry, I was going to say I kind of hope it doesn't have Mr. Sinister, just because I don't want to spend a lot of money to get the first appearance comic because I still need
What's
that.
he part of? Like the Essex
Essex
Corps
family,
or whatever,
something like that.
Mr. Sinister.
I love that the live chat's now turning on Jason as
I
he
love it
turns
too. It's
on
great.
everybody
Johnny
in
Cage.
comics.
The only thing that gives me hope.
It's always William Pace.
The only thing that gives me
That's
hope
okay.
hope about New Mutants is
We don't need our arch rival.
Disney had every opportunity to drop this somewhere else. Disney Plus, Hulu, somewhere else. But they still decided to do a theatrical release. So someone there must have confidence in the movie. So that's the only thing right now.
Well,
But
it's
hopefully
got
we get another
Game of
trailer.
Thrones girl that I
Big
can't think of her
deal.
name.
Big deal. She was one cast member in a whole montage of cast members in that show. People are like, "Oh, it's got a great cast." Does it have a great cast?
It does.
That
I mean,
one
Game
girl
of
was in
Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
it's got a recognizable cast because she's from Game of Thrones.
So
the
did
guy that
so
plays
did the Phoenix.
well,
so
the
did
guy
Dark
that the
Phoenix.
guy that plays
That had a Game of
Cannon,
Thrones chick in it too.
the guy that plays Cannonball is from the Stranger Things series.
Yeah.
Who else?
I'm just saying, I don't know the cast matters because Dark Phoenix did the same thing. They had a great cast of all people you knew and were returning from the last movie everyone hated. I don't know. I don't get it, man. I don't got it.
It's time to reboot the X-Men.
Thank you. Please just be done with it. Be done with it and fix the damn thing.
Yeah.
Can we talk about comic books?
Fix the damn thing.
Fix the damn thing.
Yeah, anybody new to the podcast, Jason just comes and goes as he pleases, and that's
He's
okay.
got things going on, man.
He's got to take care of UV the pug.
I think his wife yells at him and is like, "You got to do these dishes." He's like, "Oh God, turn my camera off." Oh wait, no, he didn't say that. What really happened was
he's like he's like what's the actor's name? The kid from Galaxy Quest when the mom yells at him to take the trash out, so Jason's got to run the trash out.
Where do you go, Jason? What happened?
You didn't mix the recyclables, did you?
She's like, "Get in here and throw these freaking trash away." Yes,
Feds are watching. I can't talk about it.
I'll be right there.
Jason just comes back with a black eye. That shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Hey, Adam, did you drop that code for Marvel X?
Marvel's X, yeah.
Marvel X.
You already dropped
it?
No, I'll do it right now.
Okay, cool.
Drop it. Drop that code.
How about you do that?
Drop that sexy Marvel comic code.
It's in there.
We're gonna talk about some comics.
Let's talk some comics. Let's talk about. This is Adam, so I'm trying to buy time and act.
Buy that.
Let's talk about Ruins of Ravencroft.
Yeah. Did you want me to go ahead and drop that code for that?
The Ashes of Arkham Asylum.
After you do the intro, you can drop it.
Ashes of Arkham.
Ruins of Ravencroft, Carnage #1, written by Frank Thierry. Art by Guy Villanova.
Hey, you guy.
Gooey.
Whatever, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy.
Hey, I'm writing here.
I'm not your buddy, Fran.
This is what happens when I try to do.
Not your pal.
Angel Unzueta, Rachel Rosenberg. Letters by Travis Lanham.
Lanham.
Always easy.
Love that
Travis.
guy.
Yep.
It's the Travis of Ravencroft. All right. I guess it's the Angel Unzeta. They did the art for the modern stuff, and Villanova did the art for the flashback scenes. But in this we get Misty Knight, John Jameson, Wilson Fisk, and eventually Reed Richards shows up.
What?
Yeah. To visit the site where Ravencroft, the site is being rebuilt. And then we get some flashbacks to ye old days of 15th century. Molly Ravencroft and Cortland Cassidy say, forget what everyone else says. We're settling in this cursed area.
You heard me, woman.
Yeah, which doesn't pan out well for Cortland. And this story is like, man, it's like linking old ancestors to present day. And it's like some kind of Shining concept where Jack has always been there. And this made me think, I thought if this is the case, then everyone in the Marvel universe ancestry.com bio should be done on everyone in the Marvel universe to find out who's going to become a villain, because their ancestors were villains also. Bad stuff happened to him, so this great grandson better we might as well just lock him up.
That should be the next Punisher arc, ancestry.com.
It just sounds down.
Adam, I won't hate on it too much.
He said that. He said that. That's a quote.
Yeah. This book, it was out of the gate. It was not, because I've said it before. I don't like it when they say you have this modern day character, but the same thing happened to their ancestor hundreds of years ago. I don't like that coincidental stuff. I'm not a fan of it. So
the story itself, if you took that part out of it and just put some random character and it was the origin story of Ravencroft, it would have worked just fine. You didn't have to
I agree. Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't mind that it connected.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it either, but I'm saying that connection didn't add anything. But on the flip side, I can see what Adam's saying, that it bothers some people.
I mean, it did add
and it had the Cortland had the whatever the circles, the null circle.
Exactly.
It's like, oh my god, can you just do Ravencroft?
Well, they're wrapping it into the Carnage.
It's all Carnage
thing.
stuff,
I understand what they're doing with this issue, and this is like a primer building up to the new Ravencroft series. I think it's just a 5-issue miniseries. Frank Thierry is doing all of it, and I kind of like that aspect that there's one guy writing it, doing the plan. They are injecting history like Arkham. I don't think it's going to mean a damn thing.
And
honestly, I don't think
Ravencroft $5. It did not need to be $5.
It's a Marvel #1, of course.
Exactly.
It's
exactly on both cases. But I don't think Ravencroft is going to be like a thing. Like Batman's always saying, take him to Arkham, take him to Arkham. I don't think it's going to be a thing like that. Okay. I think this is going to be, isn't it ongoing Venomized Ryan, the Ravencroft?
No,
book?
It's 5 issues.
I thought it was just five issues. But it's got like 4 tie-ins building into it.
I did not expect to see Kingpin or like.
I was okay with Kingpin.
I like that. I like that.
I was good with Kingpin showing up because he's the mayor,
Right.
But Reed Richards showing up. Okay, you're the cosmic dude. You're taking care of National Doom. You're taking care of Galactus. Oh, let me see how this hospital's coming along. Mm-hmm. That didn't make any sense to me. Everything else was okay. It was scarier than the horror book we read this week.
Yeah. I thought it was also really weird that Sabretooth is imprisoned apparently, but he's in Krakoa jail. So
that's Wolverine.
I don't know, man.
In the preview, they've already shown the preview for the next issue, which is Runes of Ravencroft, Sabretooth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the first Dracula. Is it Dracula?
There's a Dracula one. And I mean, it's weird. Is it all going to be them just exploring this newfound area underneath Ravencroft and seeing all these crazy things that, you know what I mean?
I think that's where the series is going. I've been watching this show called Destination Fear. Have you guys ever seen that? They go and they investigate like old prisons and mental institutions and paranormal activity. Yeah. And that's why I kind of like this book. It reminded me of some of those places.
That's fair.
And it's something different, man. It's not your typical Marvel story. And that's why I liked it. I get the complaints. I get it's forced history, but I still like it. I still like seeing the history behind Cassidy and how he became the first mass murderer and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, if this is the case, then Cassidy, the current Cassidy, serial killer Cassidy that became Carnage, he was screwed from Jump Street. He was screwed.
But you're picking the book apart. You're picking the book apart on one little thing instead of reading it beginning to. I like the whole story.
I liked it, Ryan.
I don't care who
I did too, Ryan.
I
liked it too, Ryan.
It was part of the story. And I thought it would. In my opinion, you're right. They should have just left that out and just focus on Ravencroft. And there could have been all kinds of sinister, weird stuff going on that didn't have to involve Carnage and Null and that whole thing.
But it does, because the last time we saw Carnage was in this facility. That's why the facility's all busted up. Because
did anybody even see that though? Because
but it was
burnt to the ground in Absolute Carnage Deadpool. Who even read that? Did anybody even read that?
But at least it's some continuity.
Yeah,
are they saying
that's a perk for me?
But are they saying it was clandestine? that Carnage he didn't even have a choice. He was going to eventually end up back in
It was like
Ravencroft.
fate. Yeah, it's fate. It was like destiny kind of
fate.
thing. Yeah.
Fate,
I think that's what they're saying.
That's dumb, in my opinion.
Because you're saying that retcons all of what Carnage has always done, and now Carnage is a sympathetic villain because he was doomed by this Ravencroft curse from the very beginning. No, they are saying that. I think that's okay. I think that is a perk. I don't think that's a
I think it's a
negative.
cop-out. Well, why is he so bad? Well, because Cortland back in ye old days of 15th century.
But I would argue that, or argue against that, or agree with you, but I'll argue against it because Carnage is done. Cassidy, he's not coming back. His story is played out, and now it's null. You know what I mean? Now his story is null story.
They're playing it out. They're playing it out in Venom Island.
And they are playing it out. Now, Cassidy is a sympathetic character, and I think that actually adds to the whole Carnage thing because you're right. He was doomed from the start, and Carnage took advantage of that. The symbiote took advantage of him. You know, the curse of Ravencroft, if that's what we're going to coin it. But that actually adds to the Null story. And Comic Book Bob said it feels like it's a tie-in to the Null thing. I'm good with that. It's a shared comic book universe. Everything should freaking tie in.
Unless you bring it into Thor. Then I'm pissed. Then
different.
I'm mad. I don't like it anymore.
They never mentioned Null. They never mentioned
boy.
Null. My beef wasn't that was a Null tie-in. My beef was that Kate said it wasn't a Null tie-in, and then he still took it cosmic.
Did you guys go listen to Donnie Cates' podcast about that? I told you to.
Donnie
of course you didn't, because you're mad and arguing. I'm like, guys, he breaks down why he did what he did. Go listen to it. Nope, I formed my opinion on that bastard.
The thing about it is, all right, I should have to go and listen to the writer's notes about what he wrote instead of taking him.
When you're whining about it.
What do you mean? Well, if I'm happy about it and I go read his notes and then I hate it, is that the same thing?
Yeah, sure.
Well, then I'm not going to do either. I'm not going to not listen or not.
That's lazy.
Be in the middle.
That's
not lazy. I'm judging the dude based on what he provided, the product that he wanted me to buy. I bought it. I was not satisfied with it. I think I had legit beef.
That is why, Ryan, because I suggested it. So Gaumer,
I think I had legit beef to not like Thor, man. I stand by.
There's no reason this was $4.99. No reason.
Adam's just.
I did like the others in this. You know, they had that you were wearing human skin.
Yeah,
and,
dude.
All that. So I thought that
Native
was cool.
American sort of spirit. I love that.
I really liked all that.
Tropey as
I
hell.
got that. That's
and
cool.
I mean, racist.
A little offensive.
A little offensive.
I wondered that too. When I read that, a specific word, I was like, oh, wow.
I only have one go-to Native American, and I go to him all the time.
Thanksgiving.
What did he say about it?
I didn't go to him because I always feel bad because I go to the comic book bullies. Anytime I have a problem with race, it's like the one black dude and the one Native American dude I know.
But so what? That's a valid opinion.
I know. I kind of feel bad.
I feel bad too because Eli was the first person I thought of.
Right?
I
was like, I gotta find out if I'm allowed to like this or not.
I gotta listen to the bullies this week and see what they say about it. I like this book. I
liked it too, man. I'm actually gonna read the rest of the Ravencroft stuff just because I liked it.
Me too. Yeah, I actually emailed Dwayne last night right after I read it. I was like, dude, I know these will probably come in late, but I want it all.
Gomer, you need to add that to the bio on your site. Native American culture specialist.
Right.
Hey, Adam, you want to go ahead and drop that code in the chat? Yeah. Let's move on to a book we can all agree on that it sucked, and that is Miles Morales. The
chat is still talking about this book, and I want to argue with the chat.
Well, I love that the chat's on fire tonight. You guys are killing it, man. But make sure you smash the like button tonight. Smash that like button.
I want to say, someone said it'll be fun to see Thor fight Null, and I'm going to strongly disagree. I just really wish that would be done with already because he's going to drag it on for the next year or two, apparently. I just want the whole entire Null thing to be done.
Null. Eddie's going to fight Null because that's what the whole thing or Dylan is. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be Thor.
Yeah.
But the thing about Cassidy, this hurting Cassidy, weakening him. Cassidy is gone. He's done. Absolute Carnage, he's done for the foreseeable future. Yes, they will bring him back and they will retcon him just like Marvel does with everything they do.
Everybody does it.
But in terms of using what was left at the end of Absolute Carnage, this is about the only thing you could do. And I'm okay with consistency throughout books in a shared universe. To me, that's a perk, not taking anything away.
I don't like how John Jameson is such a little wimp. It's like he lost his spine with the Coda C. He's just rollover, a pushover now. That's kind of a bummer because he used to be a much stronger person.
Normie? You mean Normie?
I'm glad we got
John Jameson.
Oh, yeah.
He's working for Kingpin now. He's like, oh, don't get me fired. It sucks.
Is it time to talk about Old Man Miles now?
You think Carnage will be back for the final battle against Null? Man, we'll have to wait. I'm calling you out on that, Bob. We'll have to wait.
Drew Manchu's fighting with people in the live chat too.
Good.
This is amazing.
Good. Use a chair, Drew.
Oh,
well, I don't know who would
about
win.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Batman Who Laughs better than Null.
I love the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah.
I think they've been ignoring him with the whole Apex Lex thing, and they're finally getting to that. And I think that's compelling. I like.
Yeah, but what Drew's saying is the Batman Who Laughs is in every freaking book that comes out.
True.
It's freaking everywhere.
So is Null now. Obviously, he's hanging out in Thor. He's hanging out in Venom. He's hanging out in Ravencroft. Come on.
As I have the Batman Who Laughs Funko Pop right over my shoulder.
Nice.
Right.
But then again, Batman Who Laughs is part of like the event thing that's going on right now still. So that's why he's still in everything. Yeah. But that Null's time will come. It already is kind of, you know, everywhere already, but it will be even more so. I guarantee like in a year.
And
Man, Bear Pig says he loses interest in a book as soon as it's tying into something I don't read. That's why events don't work. The way Marvel does events. It's stupid.
The problem with the way Marvel does events, tie-ins are great to learn more. It's like in the Starship Troopers. Would you like to know more? No, I wouldn't like to learn more. But teach me everything I need to know in the main book so I don't have to read your crappy tie-in.
But I don't mind the way Carnage did it, because if you read Absolute Carnage, you didn't have to read anything
You
else.
had to read Venom. You had to read Venom to know the entire thing that the maker was doing with the codexes. That machine
and Dylan
was in Venom.
But what else did you have to read?
I didn't read anything else, and from what I heard,
I read everything.
I read everything else.
Yeah,
I wish Cheers to Comics was in the chat, because he did read everything and he would know.
Like the Deadpool tie-in sucked. Like
Deadpool tie-in did suck. Yeah,
I didn't read. I think Noel just killed any interest I had in Venom, Carnage, any of that stuff. What little interest I did maybe have, Noel killed it, because I think I preferred the history of those two characters, the simplified history.
Yeah.
I mean,
same Ryan. Yeah.
Well, if y'all remember, this is all Bendis' fault from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the one who made the Venom symbiote like a planet of Venom symbiotes. You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah.
Guardians. That was when it was Venom was still on that one dude, the Flash Thompson, when it was Soldier Venom or whatever.
Agent Venom.
And I could somewhat go along with that, because it's an alien. It's an alien.
Exactly.
But when you're bringing in Null and all of this, well,
Null's an alien too.
It just.
What are we complaining about? Venom?
I don't know. We're complaining
about. Well, I was going to say that the Miles Morales tie-in, made like a lot of inconsistencies. They really needed some tighter editing in there, because at the end of Miles Morales, he got control over the symbiote, but then meanwhile in the Carnage, he was lost control still. So
that's a valid point that the tie-ins can hurt the main series. Yeah. Can we crap all over another book?
Well, man, Miles, the end.
I'm so confused with what we're even crapping on. Venom is one of my favorite things going on. Venom,
I'm enjoying
Absolute
Venom. Carnage,
Ravencroft. I like it all.
All right, Miles Morales, the end, #1. Saladin Ahmed, Damian Scott, Dona Sanchez Almara did some colors, and Corey Pettit did the letters.
Petit.
Corey. The End is a series of one-shots looking into the future of Marvel characters, specifically their deaths. This issue is set in the future, where monsters called germs, which is like cancer alive or something, have taken over the Earth in some sort of weird post-apocalyptic scenario. Brooklyn, though, somehow is protected by a dome of energy or some such. And Miles Morales happens to be the mayor and the resident hero of this safe haven. There's a crazy Captain America knockoff terrorizing people. And after a series of informative moments about this impossible future of a character in a book where the entire premise is the main character is going to die, yes, the main character dies. And he's a hero stopping the bad guy. All of these end books are dumb, okay? It's a dumb idea, and this one is equally dumb. And I feel dumb for reading it, and Boogie should feel dumb for assigning it to us.
That's not fair to say.
I'm just kidding. This is a very light week.
This
This is a very light week, Boogie. So you get an excuse. You get a pass.
You guys get a message. Okay, then replace it. Oh,
and I couldn't find anything.
I don't really see anything. So
I couldn't find anything this week.
Bunch of
all right.
jerks.
Why anyone ever thought the last week's days, moments, etc. of a hero's life, a thing that can only be established by creating some silly Elseworlds or what if style book scenario, whatever. I don't know why anyone thought this is anything something would want to read. It baffles me. This was bad, and I feel bad.
I hated the art.
Oh yeah, that's the obvious.
I didn't like that either.
I'm going to say something that you guys are going to disagree with and say I'm reaching and blah blah blah, and you can hate what you hate, but I can't hate what I hate. There is a very very specific reason that Saladin Ahmed wanted to use a Captain America ripoff, the villain draped in the American flag, for a very specific reason. And this is what I talk about when people come at me and say, well, how dare you read Ethan Van Sciver? Have you seen what he said? Meanwhile, yes, it is coming, because meanwhile, we read a book written by Saladin Ahmed who wants to put an American flag on the main villain, and let's down with America because that's what he believes in. That said, I love his Miles Morales series. I love it.
Yeah. So then again, he also says, he defends Captain America and, villainizes this villain even more, saying you don't deserve to wear that. He said he doesn't deserve to wear that. He says he's making.
I'm talking real life. Follow him on Twitter. Yeah. Follow him on Twitter, and you'll know exactly why the villain is draped in the American flag. Period. The end. End of story. You'll know why.
Boogie, I am not going to say that you are reaching at all.
I knew Man Bear Pig would agree with me. Thanks, man.
And I'm okay, but I'm okay with that.
Corn pops.
This isn't the first time a book has taken a post-apocalyptic turn where America somehow went wrong. All right, democracy is hard. Democracy is an easy thing to fail. I understand what he's going for. If the rest of the book would have been compelling and good, maybe that would have actually hit me. And I've been like, oh, great. Wow. What a poignant political moment, how fragile democracy is and how easily it can be succumb and overtaken by people who want to use it for the wrong things. But the rest of your book's got to be good. You just can't make a statement.
The artwork, Jason,
because the statement was completely lost on me. The art was complete garbage. I could see what they were going for with the style. But the pencils, the inks, and the colors did not match up for anything worth.
I do want to say I love the colors, though. I think the colorists did the best job they were handed to them.
I love the style of the art, but it was just too much.
I did not like the style at all.
Too much.
I'm sorry, I dipped out on you guys, and I will say honestly, I was standing at the rack. I picked it up, flipped through a couple pages, said that, and put it down.
Yeah. Those Raza covers are dope.
Killed it for me.
The Raza covers are amazing.
That was
the
cool
covers for this are great. Not worth picking up another one. Nope. The end is a stupid idea. This book was just as stupid as I thought it was.
Do you think it could have worked if you did it like Life Story, where it was like a 5-issue miniseries leading up to the end of Miles Morales' life?
Yeah, I think you did need more information.
I think that could have worked.
You need to be more compelling because you need to know why that, you need to know a lot of context.
How many more of these are there? Isn't there?
Oh, there's a Captain America, I think.
Well, spoiler alert, one's on the poll this week because nothing comes out this week.
Ooh.
And it's close.
Which one
Venom.
is it? Venom. That actually, the preview for that looks great.
There are 2 IDW books on the poll for you, Gaumer.
Ooh, Rising Sun and Dire Wraith. Cannot wait. Look at
I knew you were all about Dire Wraith.
Loving that Hasbro stuff. Bring it. But yeah, this book was garbage, and I feel like we're garbage for
William Bay says, yeah, but Life Story was cool. Yeah, but this could have been cool.
Yeah. What he's saying is if Life Story wasn't a series where they looked into everything, I even said it when we were talking about it last week, talking about the books. I wish Life Story would have been an ongoing with every arc a different decade.
Yeah, agreed.
Give us an entire 5-year run of that damn book.
I want to hit this too. Drew Manchu says, I don't care if your book is a political statement, but if it's heavy-handed, the message will be lost on anyone you're trying to convert to your POV. Well, I agree. And if I had just read this written by anybody else, I would have been like, cool. This is a evil version that took over Captain America's costume.
Yeah.
But because I follow Saladin Ahmed on Twitter and I know what he tweets,
You had the inside baseball.
It fell flat for me.
See,
it irritated me.
To me, I don't care about the inside baseball, right? I can separate the real life from reading this.
I do that a lot.
But the reason I didn't pick up on that this was a heavy-handed, or not even heavy-handed, a subtle political statement is because the quality of the book didn't compel me to actually be engaged with the book to the point where I would have been able to pick up on those subtle hints.
I hated his nephew also. He refused to call him.
In the book.
He refused to call him Uncle Miles until the end when he was dead. He's like, "Oh yeah, I used to call him Uncle Miles." Like, no, you didn't.
Yeah, you liar.
Get out of here, you dumb kid.
I'm reading the Miles Morales story, and I was still like, "Wait, what? Who is it? Oh yeah, that's right. The little
sister. Why is there a
Gangy
statue, man? Come on.
It's best friends.
Oh, I'm the mayor, so I'm going to put a statue of Boogie up. That's stupid. That's dumb. You're not my best friend, Boogie. I'm just saying.
Boogie, or this Boogie back here over my shoulder.
Whatever, any Boogie. Whatever, any friend of mine. I'm not putting a statue of him up just because they're my pal. I'm the mayor. I hated this. Can we move on? I hated this.
I'm gonna have to call that contractor. I was getting a Gaumer statue. Dang it.
Hated this.
Yeah, let's move on. This book sucks.
Let's talk about another book I hated.
Again, if you like Miles Morales, go read Saladin Ahmed.
Yeah, his run on Miles is cool,
great, man.
That
is so good.
That journal is so going to come back to bite him in his ass, and I cannot wait. A superhero should never keep journals, dude. Never.
Yeah, I really like Ahmed's writing for the most part. Like his Black Bolt is amazing.
That's the book I've been wanting to go back and read for so long.
The hardcover just came out, so I recommend buying it. I ordered it, so I'm waiting for it to come in the mail.
It made me love the Wrecker. It made me love the Wrecker.
Agreed, dude. And they kind of, made him more of a bad guy, which is back to your roots. It's comes cyclical, comes back around. He's a bad guy now in Doctor Strange with even more hard crowbar, which is really dumb. But Black Bolt is amazing. I like Ahmed as a writer. So just this one didn't hit.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Bear Pig.
I like Drew Manchus too. When I'm mayor, you'll all have statues. Thanks.
I don't. That's a lie. That's a lie.
No, if we don't get a Mount Everest style monument, no, it's not happening, Drew. I want to be on the left too. I want to be one of the first.
I want to be on the bottom with like text in my face.
That could never be Gaumer. He makes sure he comes in first.
Right.
This
is the cornerstone of my campaign. You get a statue, and you get a statue, and you get a statue.
Everyone's get statues. I like it.
We should change our emojis. Our emojis to just statues. All right, this one's me. I'm just apologizing ahead of time. Daphne Byrne, #1, written by Laura Marks, art by Kelly Jones, very talented. Colors by Michelle Madsen, letters by Rob Lee. I know Man Bear Pig read this, so I want to get your opinion on it too. But this is the last book in the first wave of Hill House Comics, which is something, I've been looking for. As soon as they announced it, I was excited. And it's been nothing but a big, huge disappointment. Yeah. And it's the same this week with Daphne Byrne, #1. Set in the 1800s, we meet Daphne, a little girl dealing with the loss of her father. And so like a true psychopath, her mom says, let's go see a medium so you can talk to your dad, because that's what I would do with my kids. The mother sold that this
get the Ouija board and order a pizza.
Yeah, let's do that too. The daughter's not buying it. Nothing happened in this book. At the end, Daphne has this dream that kind of opens up the horror aspect of the book. But I didn't care. I didn't care by the time that happened. For me, the creepiest, the most, if Hill House Comics, I want something to scare me. Be creepy. The creepiest thing in the book was the homeless guy. Yeah,
Wolverine was in one of the backgrounds.
This just sucked. This book sucked.
That was Sabretooth.
Yeah, right. This book sucks. The Hill House comic books suck, and I suck for reading them.
I'm still reading Basket Full of Heads, and it's I can't even use Gomer's quote of good, not great. It's like decent, not good.
Oh, see.
It's just,
oh, no, we suck again.
Is it? You guys didn't read the second issue of anything, right?
No.
Because the Dollhouse comics, I kind of, or the Dollhouse, what was it called?
Did it get better?
Dollhouse I wanted to Family.
I didn't pick up the second issue, and that's probably the best first issue.
Which one?
This is the one I like the most out of all of them.
Yep, I agree.
I didn't mind it. I like the art. I liked how it felt. It had some creepy vibes. I like the dream sequence. I thought that was awesome. But this is definitely the best one in my opinion out of all of them right now.
Yeah. And didn't it, especially with the homeless guy, the way the art was, did it remind you of the old kind of classic horror comic books that would come
Yeah,
the
out.
homeless guy, I love the art there.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, the art really didn't work for me.
Yep.
I didn't think it was great. I wanted it to be great, man. I wanted all these books to be great.
Our high expectations, bro.
It is.
High
And it's like,
expectations.
man,
It's like
Man Bearpick saying he picked it up for the art. The story was enough. I don't want enough. I want it to be great.
Yeah, you want to be terrified. Yeah.
That's all I got on this. I don't want to waste another.
The best horror book out there
I
from
hated
DC right now is Joker Killer Smile.
Right.
Oh, dude, that book is so good.
And it's more of a suspense sort of thing.
Psychological
really,
thriller.
there's nothing really horror like gore or you know
Kind
what
of.
I mean. There's a little bit, but not, it doesn't feed off of that. I want a book that feeds off its gore, dude. You know that just embraces all of that.
Yeah,
Thank
Gideon
you.
Falls,
Gideon
man.
Falls
Yeah.
is all over the place. Now it doesn't like base itself in gore, but when it has to be, it does it beautifully. And I want a book that is horror for the sake of horror, like Gideon Falls.
I want to be
Gideon
scared,
Falls
man. I wanna be
cover. The
scared.
next issue is going to be probably my highlights for possible cover of the year.
Yeah. The puzzle piece covers have been great.
Yeah. The next one that coming out has the villain guy, but he has like worms or cockroaches coming out on the bottom. It looks really cool.
When that bug showed up this week.
Yes. I love that guy.
Oh my gosh. When it was critch on like 3 pages, I was like, oh my gosh.
See, I love Mr. Mind, so I love the whole entire insect villain thing. It's so fun to me.
We ready to move on?
Yep. Comics Miss
Brian.
Explained rant incoming.
Yeah. I'm just going to sit
right.
back. I didn't even read this one. I don't get to argue, but this is going to be fun.
I wish you'd have read this, Boogie.
I wanted to. The Preds were on, man. The Preds were on.
It's regular season hockey. So boring.
I never get to watch them because I got so much crap going on. But
I
today
hear
I
you.
got to. I could either read this book or watch the Preds. And
Well, you
I'm
had
not-
2 intermissions.
yep, you're right. You're right.
It's you, Jason.
He's got to get himself off of mute. He's got to tell his wife to shut up.
He's just waving.
Yeah,
at her.
Thank
the
God
clock.
he has AirPods in.
Yep.
Watch out for that right hook, Jason.
The clock. This I guess the name is because of the population number at the end that went down. Suitably. That's what it's named after. That was the population number. This just deals with this son and his dad going to different countries and checking out and researching why this really aggressive form of cancer is spreading like a plague and trimming down the population. And they're not sure what's going on, but apparently, I guess 50% of the population is going to end up passing the next year or so. But that's just the general gist of this comic. As far as the storytelling goes, it's fine. One thing that did get me riled up, as you guys know, in our private chats, it brings up the myth of overpopulation. That's an easy thing to fix, and I get it. Hashtag comic books, pure fiction. But for me, at the end of this comic, he brings up a bunch of scientific facts for cancer and things like that, which is fine. But I feel like a young mind or maybe person in their early 20s or whatever that wouldn't research do their own research, that's easy to see that overpopulation is a myth, would take that it was talked about and as of like a fact in the comic, that given with those scientific facts of cancer at the end would take that in the back of their mind, like, oh yeah, overpopulation's a fact. So for me, I thought like that was a little dangerous having that idea out there. I don't like it. Also, this author's other stuff too. His other books. One of them dealt with like eugenics and things like that too, as well, which I'm not a fan of. And yeah, it is hashtag comic books, but I was like, this guy has like a certain kind of theme which I'm not down with. But one of his other books did seem interesting, and he does great stuff with Brian Hill. So I'm not dissing him as a writer, but I'm just saying, this I did not like this.
Just because of the overpopulation trope?
Not just that, but I mean, even the storytelling as well. Like, for instance, the firefight, in Africa was pretty exciting at first, but then it just ends. I thought that was really weird.
I like this quite a bit.
Okay.
And it was because of all those sci-fi tropes that I hate. Like space travel and time travel. That's not real either, but they use those in books all the time.
Right, but I don't think that's dangerous though. To
Agreed. I'm not sure. It's difficult because you're right. People use these non-scientific ideas that people take at face value and take as gospel. This is the truth.
Right.
And you're right. It's not. We're nowhere near the potential of human. We're not close to overpopulating this planet based on the amount of resources that we have available.
Right.
But I don't think he has an agenda here of like a 1%er agenda.
Yeah,
where
I don't think so either.
Let's keep hoarding all of the resources so that.
Yeah, he's not like a secret scientific Nazi or something.
Yeah, exactly. The only problem I had with this is I'm not sure that I know what's actually going on. Is this trying to be like a solo CIA action story? Is it trying to be a pandemic story? Is it trying to be a family story? It can be all three, but you've got to let me know. And in this first issue, I felt like it was spinning its wheels a little bit, trying to figure out what it was. Because it started off as like this awesome, the CIA is looking at this stuff and getting blasted by these guys. And then, no, there's really a pandemic going around and that's what's going on. And then this guy's wife dies and it's him and his son. So they've got to hang out or his daughter or what, I don't know. But
yeah, that was confusing at first too. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I thought they're colleagues at first, but then you find out it's father and son.
Yeah.
And then later on when the woman died, I thought it was like the dad's wife, but he was like, no, our mother died long ago. It's like, oh, well, it was this guy's wife. So a lot of that was like a little confusing at first, but
yeah. So I don't know, man. It's an if for me. If it gets better,
actually,
I'll love
for our
it.
infrastructure in America, we can feed up to 400 million people more.
Especially if we only eat ROM.
But I'm sure what Drew is suggesting is it takes more than just food to have a stable society. And I think he's right. We don't have the water infrastructure to pipe enough water for all those people. We don't have the fuel infrastructure.
Well, there's also not a water shortage either and stuff. You can research all this stuff. Even on like I think it's like pop.org. It's population scientific research. You can find that.
The crazy thing about it's weird that we're talking about all of these like misnomers in science because we brought up two: overpopulation and a lack of drinking water. Both of those are false, but both of those are being propagated by opposite sides of the political aisle. And I think that's very compelling information. I think we're getting way too deep for a book called The Clock. But I liked it. I liked it.
So is that the problem though? You can say the guy's not trying to push his agenda, but is he? Is he not?
I don't know what his agenda is.
Yeah,
I didn't
I agree with Gaumer.
I can see the disgust on Jason's face, and there are so many books that I have that puke. I have that same look on my face, and that's okay. That's where I say leave your bullcrap out of my book, unless it's supposed to be a political book, and then I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times I've said that on this show. I wanted more politics in this book. It's Undiscovered Country. That's a book that should be
right.
Controversial.
I think that book
Gaumer said it right. This book, it's like someone gave you a bunch of parts.
True.
Somebody gave you.
Somebody
gave it. It's like somebody.
So if anyone's not anti-fascist,
let's not argue.
Hey, are you white?
Are they though? Are they though?
Yeah, they are. They're anti-fascist.
Random people in the face and call myself.
It's not random people. It's especially what's going on in like.
Let's not argue over Antifa because they're a bunch of freaking lunatics.
We can debate and research that later, but yeah,
we can. Sure, we can. They're lunatics, bro.
Who's the leader of Antifa?
There's no leader.
I don't even need to know.
That's my problem with Antifa. It's a label applied to people.
Who's the leader of the police?
On people by other people just to apply a label to a person who otherwise would not have a label applied.
Careful, Jason. You're going to make people stop listening to this show.
That's the dangerous part of that.
ComicCast does not support any political opinions of Antifa or anything that they do.
But I don't think The Clock was trying to be political. I think they were using a trope. A scientific trope that is dangerous. That is, you're right though. There is a danger there to using that trope. There is. If you're pushing out a false narrative, then there's a danger there. Anytime
yes,
that, whether
especially when you state like scientific and facts and interviews of cancer at the end of it.
Yeah,
I feel like the reader would be like take that as truth of what they read the whole entire comic.
Exactly. Yeah, because it establishes a context of truth without telling you the whole truth.
Jason's CNN. I'm Fox News. It's okay.
Right.
No, I'm not CNN either because the Democrats are a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
They're all idiots. They're
all idiots. Exactly.
That's the problem.
Yeah. All right. Can we get off of fucking politics? Jesus.
What happened?
No shit.
But you know, that's
What
exciting,
happened?
man. You know, you never know what you're going to get in ComicCast, man. So
I hope we don't get this anymore.
Why? It's fun.
I don't
It is
like
fun.
talking
It is fun.
politics.
You can disagree and still be friends.
The problem I have is I disagree with everyone
Oh,
Well, that's because you're wrong.
because it's me. Exactly. That's the
All right,
problem
let's
I have.
get into some, if I can only find my banner, random reviews presented by Collar and ElbowBrand.com, our favorite sponsor that no one visits, but you can go save 10% with the promo code ComicCast. Let's get into it. I'll go first. Why not? I don't have a lot on my list anyway. Venom number 21 and number 22, the start of Venom Island that Donnie Cates has been tweeting about and getting people excited about. You got to read these books because I changed the world in these comic books. Like I said, written by Donnie Cates, art by Mark Bagley. How do you say that? I don't know.
I say Bagley, but
Yeah,
I've heard
Bagley.
it said both ways.
You say Bagley, I say Bagley. This is just continuing everything from Absolute Carnage. And if you've dug Absolute Carnage, you're going to dig this. The Venom and Carnage symbiotes have merged, and now Eddie Brock has taken them to Venom Island for Rambo First Blood Part 7.
True. That sounds fun in theory. Yes, but
these first two issues were so much setup. It's like I felt like Donnie Cates had to explain what this island was. You could have done that in a page. And he spent so much time trying to explain what this island was, what it meant, why it was important, why there were weapons here. It's still fun to me, but the artwork, dude, the artwork is, and I love Stegman on Venom, but the artwork is so good.
That's what this felt like to me, just a vehicle for that artwork, because it was all just leading up to him cutting off his hand. And that's fine.
So is that the moment? Is that the moment
that's got to be the moment? CB Cebulski, I can't believe I let you do this. What the hell are you talking
because
about?
I didn't know
Batman?
they're trying to build something up with Dylan and the little.
There's a tongue in a
what's in the
box.
box?
There's a tongue in a box.
oh yeah, that's right.
Donnie Cates got on Twitter and said, "This is gonna Venom 22. It's gonna be the biggest thing ever." Blah blah blah. And CB Cebulski retweeted and said, "I can't believe I let you do this."
Oh,
And it was just Brock cutting off his freaking hand. I don't know.
who cares? Yeah.
I don't understand.
It didn't show the cover
It
of
was
the next
cool.
issue, and he has his arm. So it's
Exactly. He's got his hand back.
Like, all right.
This was good. This was
He's gonna
good,
get a
but
hook.
It's not the end. It's not you have
Yeah,
to
like
end-
Aquaman
but
back in the day.
Kudos to Donnie Cates.
Candyman.
Kudos to Donnie Cates because I'm reading this in trade. Went to the shop, didn't have a lot on my pull list, so I was like, I'll grab these. He's typing it up. I'll see what's going on.
What was up with all the symbiote animals?
They were just that, symbiote animals
Yeah, but where'd they come from?
from this island. All the
Well, the
symbiotes were
animals
there.
are on. Yeah, the animals are on the island, so the symbiote's there and is infected.
So
all
the
those
one
animals.
Carnage symbiote, whatever, is when like infected like all these animals.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
I don't know how it
Well,
spread
the
itself so thin, but that's
ancestors
fine.
of the animals were infected by the symbiote before, so it just comes to pass that their current animals will
Yeah.
be infected
Oh
with
my
it.
gosh.
I forgot where I
Hashtag
didn't
mute
realize,
Adam is about to start coming up again.
I
I
love
didn't
it.
realize where he
So
was
good.
going. I was like, maybe he's about to make it like a point. I better hold on. He's like, oh no, he's just being a smart ass. I love it.
I love
Never
it.
mind.
Anything else? Or you want me to move on?
Covers live. Venomized Ryan said that Cates is lying. Okay, cool.
I love this cover though. This one. This is probably the
No,
That
Cates.
previous
is
issue.
very
Donnie
creative.
Cates said I did like that cover too.
Yeah.
It's one
He
of those
said
that I'll
covered
put on
by
my
it.
cover of the list, and then it'll be way gone by like June.
Yeah.
Also, Red Postal Deliverance number 6, Brian Hill, Raphael Ainko. Dude, this is Brian Hill doing what he does, man. It's like Postal never even took a break. Like I picked this book up when he didn't reboot it, but brought it back with Postal Deliverance, and it's like it never missed a beat, man. I love the characters. There's always a mystery in every issue. There's always a cliffhanger, and man, there is a huge one in this issue. And I know it's just hashtag comic books. It's not gonna be what you think it is, but still, I'm like, dude, if you do this and it happens, it's changing this book. It's just the characters I love. It's great.
Man.
I love it. I wish you guys read this, man.
Yeah, man. I
Hill
know.
is a hell of a comic book writer for a guy who doesn't write comic books
who
anymore.
should be retired by now, right?
Yeah.
I hope he keeps writing Postal instead of Marvel Comics or DC Comics.
Well, I do is getting better every issue.
Give me Postal, man.
It really is.
Give me Postal. Postal is so much better than that book.
Krasinski's art is getting better too, man. He does these great borders around the panels with flowers, and it's so good. It's not the best. It might be the worst X book, but it's still just so good.
Postal. Read it. Did you ever read the collected edition you got, Jason? No, Jason, didn't you order it?
No,
I thought you bought it.
No.
Oh, I thought you bought the
Postal?
whole.
No, I was tempted. I wanted to. Because I don't know when I can read it, dude. I don't know when I have time to read this stuff.
You'll love it, though.
I feel like reading new stuff takes up so much of my time when there's so much older stuff I want to read that are classics and hits. You know what I mean?
That's why I have all these trades over here that I want to read. And I only get to read them on vacation.
On vacation,
I'll bust through like 7, 8, 10 trades on vacation.
I try to set an hour a week, man, to read old stuff.
Dude, I've been getting all these new like omnibuses and like hardcover absolute editions. I want to read them, man. It's just no time, bro.
East of West, year 1 from Hickman over here, like the nice collected hardcover.
Yeah.
And I've never even opened it. It's been on my shelf forever, just sitting over there.
Yeah, like right there, I got my Alan Moore Swamp Thing, and then
I want to buy that.
Down there, I got New Frontier at the very bottom.
So good.
We got Kill or Be Killed that like upstairs. Yeah, dude.
So good.
Great stuff. Need more time.
Who's next? You want me to
go?
Let
Jason go.
Go, Jason.
What's that?
Because I read all your stuff.
Random reviews.
What'd you read this
week? Okay. No, sorry, caught me off guard. I have to think about this. Someone want to go next? Like,
I picked yours. I picked yours too.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about together. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Gideon Falls, number 20, Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, your best writer and artist of 2019. It's just so good. It continues to be good. I'm telling you, I mentioned it earlier. There's this scene where this bug comes out and it's just critch. You know, like the sound critch and onomatopoeia all over the page. And it builds and builds. And I'm like, you move closer and closer to the edge of your freaking seat. And it's just boom, there's a big bug, and it's so good.
I love it.
Loved it. Also, X-Force number 5. All the X books this week were wonderful. Ben Percy and Josh Costara just continue to nail it, dude.
I love like Wolverine cut in half. He just
I love Wolverine not only cut in half, but even before that, like he's
like crawling.
He's crawling. He killed this one dude, and the dude's like, and they shoot him, and they show this panel when he's laying there dead with all these bullet holes in him.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, he's a Swiss cheese up, bro.
You know, like that dude's dead. Keep moving. That dude's dead. Just move along.
Swiss cheese is so great. But yeah, X-Force.
Forge, his little mech body thing.
Domino still all whacked out from getting her skin cut off. Just great. Boogie, you're still reading X-Force, right?
Yeah, I opened it up to read it, and I was like, oh, man, I got a bunch of tweets to prep for the podcast. Good. So I only read like the first 3 or 4 pages. I love it, though.
Oh, it's so good. Final book I'll mention, because it's a New Year's resolution to read more of the franchise, TMNT Ongoing number 101. Tom Waltz, Kevin Eastman, of course, with Sophie Campbell. Helping with writing and doing the art duties. It's such a moment. In issue 100, of course, Splinter dies, if you haven't, seen this yet. But the first, I guess, 4 or 5 pages are just getting us up to date 6 months later on a new portion of New York that is like full of mutants. Half of the population of the city, I guess, got turned into mutants, and then dealing with that and the fallout of that catastrophe, and the Turtles obviously dealing with the biggest loss of their lives. So good, man. Love this shit. Love it so much. So glad I'm reading Turtles again. I read a bunch of other stuff, but nothing else I want to talk about.
Jason?
That's it. Covered them.
Adam, what'd you read this week, bro?
He doesn't read comics.
Yeah, he did. He read something.
He's got something in the back pocket.
There was a lack of DC comics for me this
there was a lack of comics everywhere this week.
I checked out the Marvel's X written by Alex Ross. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, Man Bear Pig, but good luck with that. It was all right. It was an all right book. Just I think it's supposed to kind of set up where what was it called? X.
The Universe X or something.
Universe X. Yeah, it's supposed to set that up. The book is kind of a slow burn, though.
Dude, Splinter's died like twice during this 100-issue run. So don't worry about that.
I mean, what is the lifespan of rats?
Twice. Yeah, what is the rat lifespan? 4 or 5 issues?
And then, of course, you got Battle Pug, which is always fun.
Always good. I think it's over. Is there one more?
Yeah, it got canceled. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was just going to be like a 5 or 6 issue mini.
Yeah, I think this was the last issue.
Yeah, I'm friends with the writer on Facebook, and he said, I guess it wasn't selling too well, or whatever. But I think he still might make some like more independent or just online again.
So.
Yeah,
man,
he's
that
just gonna
cover
wrap
is
up.
rad.
I love this cover.
And that cover is good.
I love the covers of Battle Pug. It's such a fun idea. Good. It's a great all ages book.
Yeah,
it's a fun book, and then and that's pretty much all I'll mention. Just just some light reading.
Boogie's always talking shit, saying you don't read comics. See, I knew it.
Yeah, well, William Pace brings up White Ash.
He's not far off.
White Ash, what is that? Is that a new street drug?
Dude, it's Charles Stickney. We interviewed him. Thanks for being
I'm kidding.
Liar. If I could reach Lion Cat, I would put it on.
White Ash is excellent.
Yeah, how many issues have you read, Gomer?
I read it all.
The first issue's the only one out.
Right? 3
It's all out, bro. It's all out.
Yeah, it was all.
Yeah, you read it all straight. Yeah,
as opposed to Army of Darkness, where you have good Ash and bad Ash.
It's all great.
Great series.
All right, let's get into the Outright Geekery
Book of the Week.
Yeah. OutrightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything.
Geek and comics.
At your fingertips. Supported and viewed by Antonio Bras, the writer-creator of the comic book brand. He loves OutrightGeekery.com. That's a little inside baseball for you.
He kind of lives in my neighborhood, too.
He does. He went to watch the Titans play yesterday, man. He
made my gosh.
Hilarious Twitter video. Just him in the car, just doing this. I
bet.
I love Antonio.
Everyone's suddenly a Titans fan in Nashville again. Everyone's
tight. I think Antonio
win a playoff
has
game
been.
And they start winning.
I think he has.
No, everyone's a fan, but no one's a fan until they win.
You talk about my brother from another mother.
No, he's great. I'm not talking smack.
All right,
I'm an MTSU fan. There's no MTSU fans.
Yeah,
Batman 86.
Jason went to.
He's getting beat again.
Please, we just have one more comic, hun.
Look at the chat. I miss Jason.
He's only been gone like 20 seconds. Screw you guys.
He's going to get his jacket with a bunch of zippers to
he's back.
Beat it.
So I had like 3 cups of coffee earlier, and I was like, wait till I forget to put myself on mute and pull like a naked gun.
So Lost in Comics called it. Lost in Comics was correct. I wish I had a code to give them.
Does your pit smell like coffee? If not, you didn't drink enough.
There you go.
All right. So Batman number 86, written by James Tynion IV, art by Tony S. Daniel, Danny Mickey, and Tomei Mori. Letters by Clayton Cowles.
Clayton Cowles.
Letter of the year.
The real Clayton Cowles.
Yeah.
So I mean, this book we get Batman patrolling, thinking to himself about Alfred. Then we see Cheshire kill a guy, melting his face off, and she meets her, I guess, new team, Merlin, Gunsmith, and Mr. Teeth.
Are these new people?
I think Gunsmith and Mr. Teeth are.
Gunsmith
they're
is
generic,
a rad
generic
name for a
DC villains.
Gunsmith is a cool name for a villain, man. Love it. Did he
and
even have a gun?
And I don't recall.
Exactly. So cool.
No, he's guns. He just makes guns. He doesn't carry one around.
Shoot 'em.
And they're all being led by, of course, Deathstroke. And then we get Selena whining and dining, covering for Bruce while he's playing Batman, thinking about Alfred. And Lucius Fox is making a new Batmo vehicle. And Batman says, "Send it to me." I don't care if it's not been tested. Send it to me.
Yeah.
I'll
test it.
Yeah.
I'm Archie.
And then we get another face melting off, this time for Catwoman to see. And evidently this comic didn't have the budget for a big battle. So we get Batman beating Deathstroke in one panel.
That artwork was still amazing, though.
And we knew what was going to happen. Come on.
And he calls Lucius. He thinks he's calling Alfred.
I thought that was a cool
Dude,
moment.
I knew when Adam had the lead on this book, I was like, he's gonna kill it.
I thought
Because
that
when
was such a cool moment.
Because Adam doesn't have emotion, man. When I read that, I was like, what a great moment.
Lucius should have been
I would
like,
have done the same thing.
Alfred's
dude.
not answering. The line must be dead.
Got that muscle memory, you know. Oh, Adam.
I knew this was a mistake to have Adam on this book.
And then the epilogue of the book, of course, we get Joker shenanigans happening. So
Hints. Yeah, they're building up to Joker. It's cool.
I mean, this book was a pretty, in my opinion, pretty basic starting point book. Just starting to set stuff up, and that's about it.
Serenity. That's your book of the week. Yes, it's our book of the week because you, the listeners, vote for the book of the week.
There's a big 2-page spread early in the book of Batman. You know, he's brooding in the rain over Gotham City. And in the background, so good with Tony Asano. But in the background, there's a sign. And it says, rebuilding Gotham City for everyone. That to me is a symbol that the Tom King era is over and a new era is beginning.
Good call.
There were so many shots in this book about the Tom King era.
I thought so too. But again, I have to agree with Adam. This is nothing mind-blowing, earth-shattering, world-changing.
It's Batman the way it's supposed
exactly.
to be.
It just wasn't complete crap.
Let me say this.
That's
I didn't mean to put that on
for a Batman book.
No, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I know Tom King is like controversial to talk about. Tom King's story will forever stand on its own. And you can read it, you can like it, you can hate it, whatever. That's not #not my Batman, and that's fine. But he still wrote Batman for 85 issues, and that's a Batman run. This Batman is what we want in Batman. I don't want to discount Tom King. Whether you like him or hate him, I know Jason hates him. I know Drew Manchu's already left the live chat. He hates him. Man Bear Pig hates him. Everybody hates him.
The first half of his run was great, but after Nightmares it got bad.
It fell apart.
Tom King is better in short bursts. He's better. His Mr. Miracle is great. Heroes in Crisis, I understand it's divisive. It's supposed to be.
His best work is Mr. Miracle and Vision.
Wonderful.
Those two. Yeah, Mr. Miracle and Vision.
Everybody that had an issue with Tom King's Batman should have loved this issue. Because when I read this, I said, this felt like Detective Comics. This felt like Brian Hill's Batman and the Outsiders. What does that mean? Well, this feels like Batman.
Yep.
Right.
100% agree.
Yeah, Tynion's Detective Comics run is amazing.
Great.
You know, people out there need to check that out.
It's like X-Men, really, but with the Bat family.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I love it. It's so good. So good.
I want to see that Clayface back. Dude. I hope he brings Clayface back.
Dude, what he did with Clayface in his Detective Comics run was great.
I never thought anyone, if I would tell anyone, you know who's a compelling villain? Clayface.
Right.
It sounds stupid. Just coming out of my mouth, it sounds ridiculous. But yeah, dude, he's perfect.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
$2.99 on this because it's not groundbreaking. It's not earth shattering.
Right.
It's just back to form for Batman.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it?
That's what's wrong with it. It was nothing new. It was nothing groundbreaking. It was nothing.
What's new with Batman, though? What's new with Batman? What can you do?
There you go.
Unless you write it like Tom King and piss everybody off.
I wasn't pissed off at Tom.
No.
The first half of Tom.
But a lot of people were. If you try to do something,
they can.
New
if they want to rate
Batman.
the book differently than me, they can. I'm rating this at $2.99 because again, getting back to form after shit. That's me more critiquing Tom King's run than I am James Tynion's run.
Is that fair?
Yes, because I'm taking this by its very first issue. This was a perfect Batman issue, but again, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing earth-shattering. It's nothing mind-blowing.
I know what Jason's going to rate it, so I'm giving it a $3.99 because even though Adam's laughing and mocking and making jokes of the book, the moment with Alfred, that Alfred moment was so strong. That moment with Alfred was so. It's hard to get real emotion captured in a comic book, and I feel like the dialogue, the artwork, everything that took place in that moment was perfect for an emotional. Just a page, even if it's just a page, man.
It was the pacing, the way James the way he pasted up to there, it was a mission, and then immediately it's like that awkward thing that he says. You know, it's saying that wrong thing in the moment, and it was twofold because it takes away from Lucius, you know, but it also gives to Alfred, and it makes these it helps to spread these relationships. You know what I mean?
It goes back to why that Detective Comics it was a Batman annual number 3 that Tom Taylor wrote with Alfred. It goes back to why that issue was one of my top 5 issues of the year, because Batman doesn't work without Alfred. And now we have to figure out how to make that work because Tom King freaking...
And not even us. Batman's got to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah.
And seeing that journey is going to be wonderful. But all we got was a little tease, a little taste, you know. And I'm sorry, in my opinion, the best parts of this was that it wasn't Tom King. And I'm not going to give it a perfect score based on a negative like that. You know what I mean? I think I'm going to give more credit to Tom King than that because I did enjoy the first half of his run so much. But I am happy that he's gone. But I don't want to judge this book based on, yes, the king is dead. Finally, the Batman writer has arrived. I don't want to be that guy. Although I could be. You know, that's kind of the way I feel. But I think as a reviewer, I'm just going to review this as a comic. If I didn't know anything about the Batman as a comic before this, how would I rate this? And yes, that's how I'm going to stay with my $2.99.
Yeah, I too would rate it $2.99. I've been waiting forever for a King to be done. It's finally happening. Setting things up. It's good. Art is amazing. I love the art.
Art was so good.
Coloring,
man.
Dude, it's so good. For me, the storyline was a little jumpy. That part was amazing with Lucius Fox. You know, Batman asking for Alfred. That was heartbreaking. That was great. I love that part. I did not like not seeing the fight with Deathstroke. For what little we did see,
because they were rushed.
I think they purposely left it out because you don't need to see that. I don't think
you don't need to see it.
When the art's that good, you want to see it.
Yeah, it's so good. I know, dude.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
You're right.
What little we did see was amazing.
There's a fine line between delivering on that art and telling the setup story that you need to tell. And Tynion had to get a lot in here.
I wish we could have got a double issue, just like the first half, just that fight.
Yeah. Catwoman running interference for Batman. Batman dealing with this, you know, new man in the chair. The man in the chair designing a new spacecraft or whatever the hell this transformer is for Batman. That's interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot going on. There was a whole lot going on.
Man Bear Pig says they're just going to end this in a year-ish anyway. Does that hurt the book? Is it like Swamp Thing? Is it like the Swamp Thing TV show?
No.
People aren't going to read it. You don't think so?
It doesn't hurt it for me. I can only
people that read Batman are going to read Batman.
Exactly.
I'm reading it in trade. I read Batman in trade for the most part.
Whoa.
But I kind of want to read this in single issues.
Oh, I'm definitely reading this in single issues. And he says it's going to be over in a year. That's still 24 issues if they're double shipping.
I mean, it ends on issue 100, right?
That's 4 arcs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot there, man.
Who do you think's going to take over Batman?
The thing about it is, let me go back to that question. We were raving about Tynion's Detective Comics run. That wasn't a full... But that wasn't 2 years too, right? You know,
that was a long time.
I
feel like Detective.
Like 2 years.
So I have the whole entire run of Detective Comics from Tynion. And
did he start it?
It's like a full like half box. You know what I mean?
Did he start on Rebirth though? Is that when he started?
Yeah, Rebirth.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years.
But it was double shipping, so it was 48 issues, right?
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I mean, that's a lot, dude. I don't know. Whatever. I like this for what it was.
Yeah, me too. I like it.
Freaking Batman, dude.
Yeah,
I'm very happy Tom King is off this book.
Yeah, I think they said who's going to take over after him. I want to say it was 5G is going to suck William Pace. I agree. I think it's going to be downhill for DC for
I don't think
once these 100 issues reach.
Talking about 5G, you all were talking about DC and they're changing the numbers, and I'm like, they're always like 2 years behind Marvel. Legacy numbering. Now we're seeing that. The whole crap with what was it called with Riri Williams and all that stuff, and now we're getting it with 5G. It's the same crap, just 2 years later.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
I think there's going to be a crisis, man.
That's what the crisis is going to be. 5G is going to be the crisis.
I'm going to read it, and if it's good, it's fine. But
exactly.
The numbering is stupid to me. Stupid.
I understand why they're doing it at DC. All right. When Marvel did it, it was like this gimmick to say, all right.
That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap.
It was a gimmick. When Marvel did it, it was
It's the same thing.
When Marvel did it, they didn't make a big deal out of it, except to say we're renumbering it so old school fans who are completists have some sort of basis. But then they still left issues out. Wonder Woman 750 actually means something, according to Dan Didio. Flash number 750. Well, what else is he going to say? He's the guy in charge. Who else do we have to hear from?
Keep doing what you're doing. Legacy numbering means jack, and it's true, man. As a new comic book reader, you come in and see Wonder Woman number 772. You're like, I can't read this. I don't know what's going on. No. You see Wonder Woman number 1, all of a sudden you're like, okay, maybe I can jump in here.
You're saying for new readers, sure. Maybe a new reader would need trouble for this. But Marvel did not renumber and go to legacy number for new readers. The only reason they did it was for old readers.
It hurts.
So they're doing the Wonder Woman 750 for people who have been fans of DC forever because they're finally making the timeline work. And that starts in Wonder Woman 750.
So when Marvel did it, it sucked. And when DC did it, you like it.
No, because when Marvel did it, it was just to solve a problem that didn't need to be solved. When DC is doing it, they're saying that no, issue 750 has weight to it. It's important. The reason we're going to this numbering is to rewrite the history of the DC universe. That's their plan. That's their plan. I can only take them by what they say. I can only take them by what they say.
Yeah, well, they're liars because nothing's
Well, sure, they might be. But when Marvel relaunched or when did their legacy numbering, the only reason they gave was so that completists have some sort of guide to follow, which was never a problem. Nobody was whining that they couldn't follow the numbering. And then when they did, they left comics out. Thor didn't have all the numbers in it. Hawkeye definitely didn't have all the numbers in it when they redid that. Yeah, legacy numbering is a gimmick. And I'm not saying that this isn't a gimmick. What I'm saying is
all I want you to admit is it's the same.
No, it's not the same.
Yes, it is.
No, because Didio has tied renumbering to something Didio with weight.
So bullcrap. It's the same thing.
Who else am I supposed to blame? Marvel is renumbering. I'm not going to Marvel and saying you better renumber right now, or I'm going to be pissed.
Same thing,
if Marvel would have said we're going back to legacy numbering, and the reason we're doing it is because we have a plan. Dan Didio is tying legacy numbering to a plan. That I can be excited about. I'm not excited necessarily about the legacy numbering. I'm simply implying with this legacy numbering comes something that's actually thoughtful and compelling. And I'm anxious to see where it goes. So no, the legacy numbering at Marvel and DC is not the same because Marvel did it without a plan. They did it just for an arbitrary reason to solve a problem that didn't exist. When DC says they're changing legacy numbering, they're saying we're doing it for a reason. And that's what it compels me. The reason may suck. It may end up being terrible, but at least they have a plan. It's not just for some problem that doesn't exist. Shut up, ComicCast.
There with his Fox News propaganda.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
New comic book day, January 15th, 2020. Nothing comes out.
I got a couple of books.
What do you guys think? Jessica Jones Blind Spot. This is backwards. They released it all digitally, and now they're going to try to put out the number one issue.
Did everyone rate it?
I don't know.
The week?
Well, you muted and disappeared, and everybody but you. What do you rate it?
Oh, well, $1.99.
That's fair.
Is it?
It's not what I would have rated it.
It's Peacemaker
trying to calm us down.
Peacemaker Gaumer. After we argue, you're trying to
calm it down. Well, you and Adam argue all the time.
That argument was 10 minutes ago.
You and Adam argue all the time.
I hate you now, not
I
Adam.
know. Legacy numbering, something as dumb as that. I'm excited for Wonder Woman 750.
I bet you can't wait for 5G too.
I am. I like new stuff. I like seeing them do different things.
Mastodon, it's not an argument. It's just having a good time on a podcast.
Yeah. What do you got about it, Mastodon?
You want the link, bro? We'll argue with you too.
Skull Digger Skeleton Boy.
Yeah, that question number 2.
The question is exactly what I was going to say.
Avengers 29. I love Avengers so much.
I loved it, then
last year.
didn't like it at all.
It's so silly and stupid and over the top. I love it. It's like the opposite of Justice League. Justice League is so serious and immediate.
Right.
We've got to do something about it. Like Captain America's like driving around in Ghost Rider's car, in space, and it's just like, this is ridiculous, but I love it.
I'm going to make you guys read Iron Man 2020 #1. I can't wait to do that. And
Dude,
I'm punishing myself. I pulled the entire little miniseries just so I can crap on it.
Oh, man.
I'm going to hate it. I know I'm going to hate it.
That's right. Everything else I have on my short list for next week is on the poll, so I don't want to.
That Jessica Jones blind spot, was that the one that was previewed inside that Oncoming or whatever?
Yes.
That's a really good art. Incoming.
Yeah, that art is so
Kelly
good,
Thompson.
dude.
Kelly Thompson writes Jessica Jones well too.
Nice. I'll check it out then.
Yeah.
I would rather buy the trades though. It's on. Yeah. It's not on the poll.
No,
because I didn't know what to do because it's already out. It's out digitally. It's out.
Okay.
You can get the whole trade.
It was like one of the digital firsts or
That's
whatever
awesome.
for Marvel.
Would they do that? And was it a Luke Cage book they did?
I thought it was a Miss Marvel book, but it might have been a Luke Cage.
I can't
book.
remember.
I don't either.
Remember.
Maybe it's an Iron Fist book now that you say the street level thing.
I really want all of Kelly Thompson's Jessica Jones though. It's good. It's good.
There's Marvel Tales Ravencroft.
That's the Sabretooth one.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's this. Yeah, that's this week.
Yeah, and the Venom, the end. I know I talked mad shit on the end books this week, but the Venom, the end, the preview looks fantastic.
It's something else because there's also Ruins Ravencroft Sabretooth. That's something else.
Oh man, I didn't realize they were milking it that damn hard.
No, I don't think so. I thought the only books that came out were.
It might be a reprint, Jason.
Maybe.
It might be like a facsimile.
Dude, there were a ton of facsimiles coming out.
Yeah, I don't like
week.
those either, man. I don't like those at all. So dumb.
We ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
Put a bow on it.
I think we're done.
Put it under the tree.
Thank you guys for hanging out, man. Ton of people in the live chat tonight. You guys were active. You guys make the show fun.
You guys were awesome.
We appreciate you guys showing up, hanging out. Brian Lloyd hanging out on Facebook the entire night.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude.
Some people hanging out on Periscope. A lot of people on YouTube. We appreciate it. So make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube because right now we have StreamYard paid for, so we can stream across all platforms, but we may not in the future. So make sure you subscribe to the S&B Network on YouTube. But that's going to wrap it up. We'll be back next week, and we are starting off a long 2 months of special guests. Next week,
that's right.
We've got Liana Kangas. She is the artist on She Said Destroy. And also Joe Mulvey, who is the artist on Welling Blade and a lot of other stuff.
Coming in next week.
What happened was we had already booked Liana Kangas, and then Joe Mulvey. We were going back. I was going back and forth with him talking about it, and Liana was like, "Joe, we should do a podcast together sometime because we would wreck some shit."
Oh, great!
And I said, "Oh, wait, really? Then I dare you to come on our podcast and see what happens."
Oh my!
The conversation I had with them in DMs started with swear words. What was approved? Then it went on, can we drink on air? And I said, yes and yes. And I said, Ryland Grant holds the records for F-bombs on a show. So if you want to come on and try to break it, then we'll do the thing. So next week's gonna be
encouraged.
Fun.
Drinking is encouraged. It's like a comedy club. Why the hell do you think they have 2 drink minimums? Because you got to be wasted to want to watch this shit.
They are gonna drink, they are gonna cuss, and you guys want to be here. So join us next week for ComicCast, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. Come hang out. For Gaumer, for Adam Wade Adams, for Comics Misexplained, I'm Boogie Bentley, and we will see you guys next week.